Have you ever imagined what lies hidden beneath our feet? Tunnels, entire cities, gigantic temples. Some so ancient they challenge everything we believe we know about human history. It sounds like fantasy, but it's reality. And the most intriguing part, many of these discoveries still haven't been fully explained by science. Today we're going to explore the most astonishing underground discoveries ever made. Mysteries that could rewrite history books, theories that cast doubt on everything we learned in school, and places that seem far more advanced than they should be for their time. To start, picture this scene. A simple farmer in Turkey is digging in his backyard when he finds a secret passage. What seemed like just a hole in the ground turned out to be an entrance to something massive. It wasn't just a tunnel, it was an entire underground city, built thousands of years ago. We're talking about Derinkuyu, an underground metropolis capable of housing over 20,000 people. There were kitchens, schools, food storage rooms, and even a complex ventilation system. It's as if a true modern city had been hidden underground, long before the invention of electricity or reinforced concrete. But the big question is, who built it and why? Were they fleeing from enemies, or did they know of a much greater danger approaching? Pure mystery. And if I told you this isn't the only underground city lost in time, now hold on to this. Derinkuyu wasn't an exception. In the same region of Cappadocia, archaeologists found several other underground cities, some connected by tunnels stretching kilometers beneath the earth. It's as if there was a secret network, built by hands that knew exactly what they were doing. Imagine this, tunnels up to 8 stories deep, carved into volcanic rock with stone doors weighing tons that could be rolled to seal the passages. It was an ingenious, nearly impenetrable defense system. And here's the kicker. All of this was done thousands of years before modern engineering. The strangest part is that historical records about who built these cities are practically non-existent. No texts, no documents, no clear inscriptions. It's as if an entire civilization chose to hide, and then vanished without a trace. Now think about this. Why would someone dedicate so much effort to living underground? Was it just to protect themselves from wars? Or were these people facing something even more threatening, like brutal climate changes or even cosmic phenomena? What's certain is that exploring these tunnels today feels like walking inside a secret kept for millennia. It's as if the walls whisper stories that have never been told. And if you thought this underground network in Turkey was impressive, wait until you hear about the mysterious tunnels found on another continent far from there. On the other side of the world, an even more curious mystery was uncovered. In 1992, workers building a dam in China stumbled upon something no one expected, a series of gigantic artificial caves carved with an almost unbelievable precision. We're talking about the Longyu Caves. Imagine entering a cave and realizing it's not a work of nature, but entirely hand-carved. And it's not just one. There are 24 colossal caves, some over 30 meters tall, filled with columns, corridors, and even geometric patterns etched into the walls. Now here's the most intriguing detail. There's no historical record of who built them, no mention in ancient texts, no clue about how such a massive project was possible over 2,000 years ago. It's as if it was erased from human memory. To give you an idea, it's estimated that removing the amount of stone excavated would have required the work of 1,000 people for nearly 30 years. And yet, the cuts in the walls are so uniform, they seem made by modern machinery. And the inevitable question, what were these caves used for? Storage? Religious centers? Military bases? To this day, no one knows for sure. The historical silence is so profound that some call the site the 9th wonder of the ancient world. But hold on, because this isn't the only enigmatic underground structure in Asia. There's a find in Japan that seems to defy logic itself. In Japan, the story takes an even more mysterious turn. In 1986, divers exploring the coast of Yonaguni Island came across something that looked like it came straight out of a movie. A massive submerged stone structure with steps, platforms, and even what resembles a pyramid. Dubbed the Yonaguni Monument, the structure appears to be an entire city hidden beneath the sea. The most impressive part, it's estimated to have been submerged for at least 10,000 years. That's long before the emergence of the first known civilizations like Sumer or ancient Egypt. Now, the big controversy, Is Yonaguni really a human-made structure, or just a natural formation? Some geologists claim that the straight cuts and steps could have been created by the natural action of ocean currents. But let's be honest, the perfectly fitted blocks, precise angles, and what looks like a staircase give the impression that someone planned it all. And if it is indeed human-made, we have a big problem. It would mean there was an advanced civilization in Japan thousands of years earlier than we imagined. It's like finding a skyscraper in the middle of the Stone Age. Imagine the shock of thinking that forgotten cultures might have mastered the art of construction long before what's recorded in our books. And believe it or not, the underground and submerged secrets don't stop there. There's a place in the heart of South America that holds an even more astonishing mystery. In the heart of South America, an underground enigma leaves archaeologists scratching their heads to this day. We're talking about the Chincana caves in Peru, which in Quechua means labyrinth where one gets lost. The name couldn't be more fitting. These are mysterious tunnels linked to the ancient Inca civilization, filled with legends of hidden treasures and secret passages connecting sacred temples. According to accounts, these tunnels stretched for kilometers, linking places like the Temple of the Sun in Cusco to distant fortresses. There are even stories of explorers who entered and never came out. It's as if the caves held not only archaeological secrets, but also an air of mystery. What's curious is that many of these tunnels seem to have been carved with impressive precision, creating perfectly aligned passages without clear traces of the techniques used. How did the Incas, without iron tools, achieve something so advanced? And it doesn't stop there. Some theories suggest that the Spanish, during the conquest, believed vast amounts of gold were hidden in these underground passages. Many risked their lives trying to find the lost treasure of the Incas, and some disappeared forever within the stone labyrinths. Now imagine if part of this myth were true, and there were still hidden treasures down there waiting to be discovered. And if I told you that, far from Peru, another underground site was found, but this time holding something no one expected: thousands of mummies. In 2018, archaeologists announced a discovery that seems straight out of an adventure movie: a massive underground necropolis in Egypt, filled with tunnels, burial chambers, and, astonishingly, over 50 mummies. The site was found in Minya, south of Cairo, and resembled a true condominium of the dead. There were stone sarcophagi, inscriptions, statues, and even remains of mummified animals. It's as if we were stepping into a ghost city dedicated entirely to the afterlife. Now think about this. We're not talking about the famous pyramids, but a secret cemetery buried underground and only revealed after more than 2,000 years. And the most intriguing part is that some of these mummies were in a surprising state of preservation, with details of clothing, golden masks, and even fragments of colored fabrics. What stands out is how organized the system was: wide corridors, carefully planned chambers, everything designed to last for millennia. It's as if the ancient Egyptians had created an eternal bunker to ensure their dead would never be disturbed. But the big question is, how many other underground complexes like this are still hidden beneath the desert sands? Every new excavation in Egypt seems to open a door to a past we've never fully understood. And don't think it's only the old world that holds these secrets, because on the other side of the Atlantic, an underground site in Mexico holds clues to something even more enigmatic. In Mexico, one of the greatest archaeological mysteries lies hidden beneath one of the most iconic structures of pre-Columbian America: the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent in Teotihuacan. During excavations in 2003, archaeologists discovered a secret tunnel over 100 meters long, buried 18 meters deep. And what was inside seemed straight out of science fiction. Hundreds of mysterious metallic spheres scattered across the floor, reflecting the light of flashlights like tiny underground stars. To this day, no one knows exactly what these spheres were for. Some believe they were ceremonial objects, representing planets or symbols of cosmic power. Others suggest they could be linked to initiation rituals, or even part of an unknown lighting system. But the tunnel didn't just contain spheres. They also found remains of offerings, animal bones, sculptures, and traces of liquids that seem to have been used in rituals. Everything suggests that this underground space wasn't just a passage, It was a symbolic portal to the underworld, a representation of the path souls were meant to travel after death. Now imagine priests descending through that dark tunnel, illuminated only by the metallic glow of the spheres, conducting secret ceremonies that were never meant to be seen by ordinary people. It's chilling to think about, isn't it? And if I told you that, just like in Mexico, underground passages connecting entire cities were also found in Europe. In Europe, the underground holds equally astonishing secrets. In 2011, archaeologists announced something that seemed impossible: a network of tunnels stretching across nearly the entire continent, from Portugal to Turkey. These corridors, often called prehistoric highways, were dug during the Stone Age, over 12,000 years ago. And we're not talking about small passages. Some tunnels stretched for meters and connected caves, villages, and even entire archaeological sites. Now think about this. Why would such ancient peoples go to the trouble of building such extensive underground routes? Was it to protect themselves from enemies? To shelter from extreme weather conditions? Or could there have been a far more sophisticated form of communication between tribes than we imagine? The most curious part is that many of these tunnels are too narrow for transporting goods. They seem designed for the quick movement of people, as if they were escape routes or secret pathways. It's almost like we're looking at an ancient subway network, built thousands of years before the invention of trains. And despite being spread across different countries, the tunnels follow remarkably similar construction patterns. This raises an intriguing question. Could distant cultures have shared some kind of common knowledge? But hold on, because we still haven't talked about one of the most astonishing underground discoveries on the planet, hidden right in the heart of the Holy Land. In Jerusalem, in the heart of the Holy Land, there's an underground site that seems to carry centuries of hidden secrets. Beneath the Temple Mount, archaeologists and explorers have found a series of passages, tunnels, and chambers that continue to fuel mysteries and theories. One of the most impressive is the so-called Solomon's Tunnel, which stretches for hundreds of meters and connects different points of the ancient city. The site is so enigmatic that many religious traditions believe sacred artifacts, like the Ark of the Covenant itself, might be hidden there. Now imagine the impact if something like that were actually found. It would be one of the greatest discoveries in human history. But for now, most of these tunnels remain inaccessible, guarded under strict political and religious control. What has been explored, however, shows advanced engineering, massive stone blocks fitted with pinpoint precision, forming corridors that have withstood thousands of years of wars, earthquakes, and invasions. It's as if those builders knew they were creating something to endure entire eras. And here's the big provocation. Why did such ancient civilizations invest so much effort in creating underground worlds? Was it merely a practical matter of defense and shelter? Or is there something we still don't understand? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. Every underground discovery seems to push the boundaries of what we thought was possible even further. And to wrap up our journey, we have just one final stop. An underground site that seems to have been created not by humans, but by nature itself, in partnership with mystery. To conclude this underground journey, let's head to Brazil. Yes, right here in our own backyard, one of the greatest mysteries lies hidden beneath the earth, the so-called giant tunnels of Brazilian lands. They were discovered by researchers in Minas Gerais, Mato Grosso, and even in the south of the country. At first glance, they seem like ordinary caves, but upon closer inspection, the detail is astonishing. The walls and ceilings bear enormous marks, as if giant claws had dug them out. And that's exactly what science believes. These tunnels weren't made by humans, but by giant prehistoric animals, known as colossal sloths and armadillos, that lived here tens of thousands of years ago. Imagine entering a 4-meter-high tunnel and realizing it was dug by an animal. It's as if the very soil holds the scars of creatures that seem straight out of a fantasy movie. These paleo-burrows, as scientists call them, are a true time capsule. They not only show the incredible strength of these animals, but also remind us that the underground doesn't just hold human secrets. It's a witness to entire eras that passed long before us. Now tell me, after this journey through hidden cities, mysterious caves, and tunnels of almost unbelievable origins, how many other secrets do you think are still buried beneath our feet, waiting to be discovered? If you enjoyed this journey, you know what to do. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments which of these underground discoveries sparked your imagination the most.